Welcome back to Tao of Twang on Patreon. I'm Dave. Thanks so much, everybody that's supporting us. Every week we've had, this is our third week, our third video post on here too, lesson. And every week we've had new patrons and just really, really appreciate it. Some of you I recognize already, some not. If I haven't reached out to you personally, I will. I think there's a welcome message maybe that you get that's automatic or something when you follow us and support us. But let me just tell you, you know, from me and my wife, we really, really appreciate it. So let's have some fun. Now, this one, um, that's just kind of a riff, that I'm using the same riff, but it's also kind of a groove lesson, right? Or just kind of a routine that you can practice this kind of double stop lick with, but also keeps you in sort of a groove. And you can mix this up and do different things with it. In the intro, I wrote it out. I played it the first time through the way that I wrote it in this tab that I'm about to show you. Okay, and so I'm just making the chord statement on the downbeat of the measure, and I'm using. Where's my? I keep glancing down here because I'm looking for my little window that's got my beat in it. I can turn it off and on. Okay, and this beat's just I can start anywhere because it's basically kick, snare, doom, doom, pop, there's no fills or anything, so you don't have to wait for it. You can set up anything you want, a click, a simple beat like this. This is what I do when I'm creating a lot of these backing tracks and stuff. So this time I'm just going to show you over the beat, right? I'm going to hit the 1 on that C. Okay, take a little break for a second, and I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little sloppy that time. How about one more? 4 and 1, 2, and this is what you want to do. 4 and. Okay, and you can just isolate that and practice it back. That's a great idea, great routine, right? The nice thing about this one is the lick is it's the same lick in different places for the other chords, right? But don't get overwhelmed by switching around all up and down the neck if that's bothering you at first, right? Just take it slow. So I'm playing the chord statement before the riff, then playing the double stop riff, then going back. And when you put your beat on, then you can, in your own way, just hang in there with the groove, but just kind of wait for that feeling of 4, right? Instead of just practicing it as a piece of tab off to the side, put it in context, right? But work on it off to the side to get the moves themselves down. So we got a bar or a little bar of the 2 middle strings right there on the 12th fret. Okay, and I'm hammering from 12 to 14 on the D string. Now, the key to this, and you can kind of do this in sections, you could, where you're kind of picking things up and so forth. That's up to you. But I'm showing it to you where you kind of just leave this down over these 3, right? And the first one, you just want to hit the 2 middle. The first strike, you want to hit the 2 middle strings. Okay, already have this middle finger down on 13 along with this. See that? So I got, every time I have 2 strings sounding. If you hit some extra strings or something, or only 1, you're good. I did it just a second ago, right? I just kept going. Wasn't really wrong. It just wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but it's going to work in whatever situation you're in. That's the cleaner version. Then I'm just going to hammer from 12 to 14 again on the G string, though, and then pick it again after the hammer, right? Kind of just the same routine for both. Except on this one, I'm not going up a string, to hit it. It's just on those two strings. And then the same as kind of the front part of it. Or identical, actually. See that? So that's an isolated example of what you're practicing here, right? Now, see how I put the bass note of that C there and then the chord kind of right next to it over to the side? That's just to kind of indicate you can do it however you want. I like to hit that bass note just to make sure that I've got the feeling, and then I'll kind of, fill in with the groove with my picking hand. So you get something like. Right, that just works for me. It also buys you a little bit of extra time to get set up down there. And when you're changing chords, in different parts of the neck, that really helps. It also just sounds good. It's almost like you're playing, a bass. You're playing your own bass part, right? If it's just you playing by yourself or as a single instrumentalist, or with a singer, but you're the only one playing or something. So after that, I'm just going. The same routine, but with G. So everything just got moved down, right? I moved down here for the chord. All right. And just moved the lick down here. So now I didn't show you this at first, but now that we've done two of them, here's an open C. Right? It's that sort of thing. And if you look at that, as sort of a caged C shape that's being moved around. Oh, I held that, didn't I? Just for some variety, I went up and played an F bar chord rooted on the 5th string, but I used the same routine. This is in the tab too. Just a little suspended fourth with my pinky there, just to give it a little something on those chords on the turnaround, and then. So I kind of bounced up to a. If you can kind of grip it off like that. Right. So that turnaround just sounds like. That's your routine on this. The only other thing that I'll point out, if you go back and watch that intro, the second time around, I waited till like the end of each chord to use it as sort of a riff that leads to the next chord. And it's a lot simpler than how I just tried to say it. So you get something like this. Okay. And that's just to let you know and remind you that there's always different stuff that you can do with all of this stuff, right? I think the important thing here and the thing that'll be helpful for a lot of folks is to make this into a routine and then start mixing it up and maybe mix some other, you know, kind of, single note stuff in there and other licks and things. But really, take yourself to task. Even if you recognize this, this isn't really that new to me, take the time to just put it into a routine and you know you might surprise yourself. Sometimes I think I don't need to. I got that, but then turns out I do need to rehearse it a couple times to really play a nice, even, groovy, pass of something like that. And the backbeat really helps, right? I didn't turn it on for the demonstration because I wanted to slow things down. But get something that most of you have devices or sequences or something where you can raise your tempo of your backing track or your click up and down and stuff, and just um, find something that's reasonable for you. And then sometimes you don't need to go faster; just sounds good as a slow groove. But whatever your tempo is, stay locked in. That's the key to this. Thanks again to everybody for supporting us, and I'll see you next time.